Baldur's Gate. Great game.
Tommy lost his D&D virginity.
Virginity. Not yet. I'm working on Karlach.
Oh, yeah.
My demon girlfriend.
I've got there you can get like love interests in that, yeah.
Yeah. Everyone is so horny in that game. It's like every time you're talking, it's just like these. Oh, I like that. You're like, okay, got it.
Well, think about this. This was created by a bunch of nerds that couldn't get laid. Think about the stigma around like people that do play D&D. It's kind of like a bunch of like horny, like, well, if I can't get it in real life, I can get it in my imagination.
Well, but like but I also just mean the actual like pretty close to the Karlach one. But what did she say the other day? God, I just want to ride you till you see stars. And I was like, whoa. Okay.
Ooh, honey.
Jesus.
I'm getting warm in here.
But that's like how like they go in hard with it. It's like Jesus Christ.
It's like it's like
but it's good. It's fun though. It's really fun. But it's just like
I'm excited to start playing it for all the sex.
Well, it's just like it's sparking that thing kind of like Witcher 3 did for me, where I'm actually really interested in like the side quests, not just the main one.
Hell yeah.
Because you just you just are finding these little secrets in the world, you know?
Well, and I love that it seems like, because like we were talking about with our friend that's been playing it, and how like we don't know what choice he made
that
but
caused this
a
thing.
Complete like different. It was like a butterfly effect type thing, you know. It's like a different chain of events where they showed up at this place and it was two vastly different outcomes.
Yeah, and we were talking. Yeah, like we showed up to this courtyard and mine was all peaceful and cool. And,
yeah, I'm happy. Woo!
And there's like a massacre happened. And I was like, "What did you do?" And he's like, "I don't know.
Who did you murder?
Who did you piss off?"
Or wait, actually, no. It could also be like, who did he not kill, and who did you kill?
Yeah, true. That's true. But it's
like what tyrant did you fuck up while he was like, "Yeah,
you're fine. Yeah. I don't care about you." But even like fun stuff too. Like, it's so it's the best dungeon master, you know. Like the other day, I just was like, "Oh, here's a well," and I was like, "Oh, examine the well." And I looked down the well, and at the bottom of the well, using my perception, I saw something shiny. And then the option's like, "Well, leave, or do you want to toss something down there, or do you want to climb down there?" And I was like, "Oh, no, climb down there."
Do you see a dice roll mechanic happen when you're doing stuff, or is it okay? Cool.
So there's the actual one that you do, and you can like pick like if you want to use like a buff from somebody else, like guidance or whatever, and then you roll. And then there's so cool. And there's also ones in battle that are just, you know, like a dexterity roll. Like, and you
see a D20, it rolls. It's
yeah, you see D20, but the ones in battle are just a quick little automatic one. You're not really interacting.
You're
with
not
those.
hitting. Yeah, okay, no. That's really cool.
But yeah, I went down into this well, and then I was like, "Oh great, I'm in a spider den. Cool."
Get the fuck out.
Get the fuck out of here. But yeah, it's really cool. And then, you know, through there, you find a back way into this locked door and find a cool loot. It's really cool.
I'm excited to get it.
Yeah.
Hopefully I'll get my PS5 soon.
Yes.
All right.
Yeah, but there we go. This is Tommy.
This is Jake.
This is Tommy and Jacob's Mixtape. Hello, everyone.
Hi.
Welcome back.
Hello.
Welcome to our end of the year show.
Hi.
Also known as the Mogwai Awards.
I'm Jacob.
Movies of Great Worth and Infamy, where we recap the year and discuss some of our movies that we've done. We're not going to do all of them. But.
So here's the thing. We did 50 movies this year.
Yes.
I just want to like let the audience know. This is our first year, other than last week's Dream Reboot. More really, this is our first year that we did pretty much 100% like movie reviews all year long.
Because in previous seasons we would do like banter, what we called banter episodes, and we would pick topics and just kind of discuss random stuff and not just do reviews. This year we were going to try, and next year is going to be ambitious. Because next year we're going to try and do strictly movies, except for our holiday season.
Holiday season, not so much. And I do want to branch it out. It's like not just movies we both haven't seen, but if it's a movie that I have seen but you haven't.
Yes.
Yeah. But it'll be fresh. It'll be a set of fresh eyes for somebody.
Yes. That makes it a little easier. It's still going to be hard. But yeah, so what we do at the end of each our year, which is September.
It's because we kicked off our first season. Our first episode was Halloween time.
Yeah, so we start out the year with spooky season, as we call it.
That's our beginning of the year.
Yes.
It's the Tommy and Jacob calendar.
The Tommy and Jacob's mixtape calendar. I want to make a calendar now. Yeah.
So, first of all, you said you wanted to do some predictions.
Oh, on each other.
Yes. Like what I think your Gizmo Award is and
Yes.
what I think your Spike Strike.
And I don't think we should confirm. We should just...
We're going to deadpan this.
Yes, just give them out. Okay. So...
I think your Gizmo is going to be Moonlight. Also, this is like... Last week, I found out that apparently we weren't doing what the carrots were, so my predictions might be completely wrong now.
I was just always under the impression what we enjoyed the most.
And I was like, no, like what you think critically, Gizmo is like what you think is critically the best film. But anyway, so that's where my predictions are coming from.
Okay.
So yeah, Gizmo, I said Moonlight, and Stripe, whatever. Bad one. I thought Dungeons and Dragons you would choose.
Okay. I also remember you saying that you wanted to do like the strangest honorable mention.
Yeah, we'll do that next.
Okay, but you didn't have a prediction for that one?
No. No.
So my Gizmo award for you was Moonlight, and then your Spike Stripe award I thought was Virtuosity.
Okay.
Those were mine.
All right, cool.
All right. So where do you want to start?
Well, I mean, so let's do like our kind of like honorable mention of like strangest movies we did over this year.
Okay. What was your strangest?
I have like a two of them.
I have two as well.
Yeah. I think 3,000 Miles to Graceland just kind of like sticks out. The movie was just bonkers.
Let's get so 3,000 Miles of Graceland is it is promoted as a heist movie where these
of an Elvis convention thing.
Yeah, so they're gonna dress up as Elvis and rob a casino. That's the first 10 minutes, and then it becomes a weird game of cat and mouse, find the money.
Yeah, we should have wrote down what episode number these were.
I mean, we can.
I mean, it's gonna take a minute to look for them, but yeah, if you can quickly do it.
Well, here, let's do this. Open, and then we can open that, and then this season. And then 3,000 Miles of Graceland was episode 146.
Okay. Yeah. It was just like, it was bonkers. It was a fun talk. One of our fun, I mean, it could have been, I could put in there like one of my favorite episodes of like stuff that we talked about this year.
Because that movie was just so bizarre to talk about.
Yeah. It was literally a cocaine fueled fever dream.
Quentin Tarantino-esque thing.
And my other one that kind of just like, looking through, I was like, that movie was just fucking weird too, but in its own way. The Hebrew Hammer.
Interesting.
Yeah, that movie was just so strange.
That's a very strange movie.
It was a very strange, and it exists in a very very specific world. You know what I mean? Yeah. Those were like, I think like two of the strangest movies we did this year.
Okay. My honorable mentions for strangers. Hebrew Hammer is. What's your synopsis for that?
A Jew-ploitation, like
crime spy movie?
Santa's son is trying to destroy Hanukkah.
Yeah,
pretty much.
And then a secret agent Jewish guy needs to stop him.
Yeah, to save Hanukkah. He's trying to save Hanukkah.
Yeah,
from Christianity.
From
white Christians.
My two was I picked for one of them Virtuosity.
Yeah,
which is a cop has to fight a synthetic humanoid compiled of 200 serial killers.
Yeah,
played by Russell Crowe. And
Denzel Washington phoning in his performance,
and Russell Crowe having the best time of his life, just being this maniac. That was a very weird movie. And then I said the other strangest one was for me was Banshees of
Inisherin.
It's just it's a strange movie.
It is a
very strange movie. Like,
oh god, who is the god damn it? Martin McDonough, who wrote it?
I can't remember.
That sounds right.
I mean, that movie also because like that is just man wakes up in his small little town in Ireland, and suddenly his best friend doesn't want to be friends with him anymore and won't tell him why.
It's a breakup.
Yeah, it's a really weird,
it's a messy breakup.
It's a messy breakup movie between these two men,
but it's filled with metaphors.
Yeah, it's just it was a very strange movie.
I love it. I love that movie.
It was good.
I actually almost predicted that as going to be one of your Gizmo almost.
Oh, really?
Yeah. But then I thought about it. I was like, oh wait, no, I remember him being kind of like lost. When we were talking about it, you're like, oh wow, there's a lot.
I was very lost in that movie. It's something I would have to watch again to really pick up on it.
Yeah.
But I haven't been mentally prepared to do that.
All right. Well, so those were some of we feel like the strangest movies we did this year. Do you want to do Stripe first? Worst movies?
Let's do that.
Okay, so before I go into what my actual Stripe award is, what I think the worst movie we did this year, my honorable mentions are Dungeons and Dragons.
Okay.
And Magic Mike.
Okay.
Magic Mike just infuriated me so much.
Really, I didn't even think. I forgot about that. Yeah, I did. I forgot how much you were just annoyed by that movie.
I understand the charm of it, but I don't think that movie should be as it's critically accepted as it is.
It's utterly forgettable.
Yeah, I was just like, and the sequels are literally playing off of like what the most interesting part of it was, and that's the dancers and the dancing of it. Because the storyline of Magic Mike is this weird, like I'm getting frustrated just thinking about it again.
Well, it's also like it doesn't need to be a franchise.
No,
it is a franchise.
Just irritating. God. Yeah, What are your honorable mentions? Get me out of this rabbit hole.
My honorable mentions for Dungeons and Dragons.
Okay.
And Warriors of Virtue.
Yeah. Warriors of Virtue is pretty womp.
It's pretty rough. And it's a bummer too, because like we were saying in the episode, because I mean that's pretty fresh. Like we were saying in the episode too, it's actually a pretty cool world.
Yeah.
That they created, but it's just the writing just doesn't.
The Toa.
In Toa. Oh, last week when you were talking about the concept of the Final Fantasy VI, right?
Yeah. The anime,
I was thinking of Komodo taking the life force. And,
yeah. I was actually waiting for you to like make a Star Wars reference because I'm like the Empire, the Returners. You know, the Empire and the Rebels.
Oh, like, that didn't actually. No, maybe it's because Warriors of Virtue is more fresh.
That's fair, yeah.
But yeah, it's just like there's this cool world, and like I liked the look of it, but just the writing is just
yeah.
It's like
whatever. The kid was annoying, actually.
Yeah, the most interesting thing. It was the same thing as Virtuosity. The bad guy was just unhinged and coked out.
I am Komodo.
Yeah, like he was the most interesting thing.
No thoughts.
Well, yeah, he had this great screeching voice.
Yeah.
But yeah, those are mine.
Word. I mean, that's pretty. Like, I'm really interested. We might have the same Stripe award then.
Okay, let's look. Let's your official.
Do you want to say it at the same time? See if it happens.
Okay, 3,
2, 1.
Super
Mario Brothers.
Oh! No, Hebrew Hammer.
That's funny. I almost had Hebrew Hammer. I was thinking for that for a Stripe award. But then I saw Super Mario Brothers, and I was like, that movie's garbage. Hebrew Hammer was just strange. I don't think it was that bad. It was just really strange.
I thought I way more enjoyed Super Mario Bros. Than I did Hebrew Hammer.
I think Super Mario Brothers was just hot garbage. Like you can like the jumps of logic in that movie.
Well, yeah, but that's also but going back into the world that created, I really enjoy.
Yeah, the steampunk Mario world.
Yeah,
but also it's like it's not Mario. It's just like there's like. I really just don't think. I think it's just not a good movie, and I think out of all the movies we reviewed, all 50 movies we reviewed this year, is probably just like the worst one.
I went with Hebrew Hammer though because of the fact that, granted, it was like at the beginning of the season, but I was going through the list and I was looking at that holiday season. We had
We did Christmas Story.
We did Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, A Christmas Story, Hebrew Hammer, Eight Crazy Nights, The Santa Claus, and then New Year's Eve.
Yeah.
Wow, we did a lot that year. Jesus. But
Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, that was for Thanksgiving.
yes. Then Christmas, Hanukkah.
We had two
Hanukkah.
for Thanksgiving, didn't we? Oh, no, it was just Planes, Trains.
And then we did Christmas Story, Hebrew Hammer, Eight Crazy Nights, and then Santa Claus.
And then we ended with New Year's Eve for New Year's. Yeah.
But like, I was looking at that list and I was like, I'd never seen
New Year's Eve was pretty that was pretty forgettable. Now that I think about it.
Yeah, but it wasn't bad. It was just
no.
It was Hallmark holiday shit, you know. But it's like Plane, Trains, and Automobiles. The first time I'd ever seen it, and I remember that movie perfectly because I thought it was hilarious.
Yeah.
Christmas Story I'd seen a bunch of times. Eight Crazy Nights, I remember that movie. Santa Claus was a great conversation because you just realize how fucking weird that movie is. That should be on Strangest too.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah.
And then New Year's Eve, I was just like, oh, that's forgettable. But like Hebrew Hammer, I was like, all I remember is I hated it. So I was like, so I can't really pick anything else.
That's fair.
So yeah.
I mean, that's totally fair. That's funny that, yeah. We're seeing some crossovers here.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we have like-minded ideas.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, let's go into our honorable mention. Wow, this episode's going really fast. Actually, we're at 60 minutes right now.
Okay. Well, I mean,
Yeah.
it is what it is.
It is what it is. Yeah. All right. So honorable mention for Mogwai or for Gizmo. I forgot that we called it a Gizmo Award. I have all of my notes that says Mogwai Award. My honorable mentions are Moonlight and Banshees of Inisherin.
Okay.
Which I guess we didn't really bring up. Moonlight is the story of a young black man's journey, 3 separate chapters in life, and just kind of the effects of like childhood trauma and
sexual identity, coming of age. That movie, but that movie was also that's also in my honorable mentions because that movie is absolutely gorgeous in so many ways, with the music, with the cinematography, with the acting. Like that movie I was really, really happy we decided to do that.
Yeah,
one.
it is definitely it's a piece of art.
It is really, really good. So we even said too in that episode, it's like if you haven't seen it and you've been thinking about it, watch it. But be in the proper headspace because it's talking a lot of trauma and it covers a lot of different stuff.
I mean, this was very much almost my Gizmo.
Yes, it was pretty close.
Yeah.
What was your other one?
Banshees of Inisherin.
Banshees of Inisherin.
Because I just think the way that Martin McDonagh wrote about Irish identity into this into the end of like the Irish Civil War and how this breakup of these two friends represents so much of what was happening at that time. You know,
again, great performances.
Yeah,
it's just that movie is also. I figure like comparing the two, that movie is way more quiet. It's very subtle in all of its until that crescendo of like I'm not fucking around. But yeah.
No, it's like one's like I'm not fucking around, and then Colin Farrell's like I'm not fucking around anymore either.
Yeah. Then my other honorable mention was actually Mary and Max.
Oh yeah.
Mary and Max is about a young girl and her pen pal that's autistic.
New Yorker.
What is he called that we got in trouble for?
Oh, he calls himself an Aspie.
Yeah.
Because, well, I mean, so like the person, so we don't use the term Asperger's anymore because the Dr. Asperger that did also, he was a Nazi and he experimented on humans.
Yes.
But also just as we've, you know, but like the thing is that we're like in Mary and Max, he's writing from a specific time. And
he's saying he has Asperger's, so that's why we were using that terminology.
Because he's also he's in the 80s.
Yeah.
Like the movie takes place over like 3 decades.
Yeah.
So,
but anyway. But it's about this grown man, autistic man, and then he becomes a pen pal with this little girl, and it's just a story
because she just randomly wrote to him one day.
Just picked a name, and then it's just about their relationship over the course of years, and it's just really it's a claymation, really sweet.
Yeah.
It's
like the
warming movie.
The narrative is told through the idea of letters more than anything. Philip Seymour Hoffman, wonderful performance. Toni Collette, wonderful performance.
And it's just a really warming, like,
again, another movie about like generational trauma and like and even just like personal identity. you know?
But yeah, it's like a cup of warm soup. It's a very warming movie. There's a lot of sadness to it.
It's a lot of sadness, but it's also there's happiness in it.
Yeah,
because
you're seeing the positive through the negative.
Yeah, because a lot of it's so much about accepting yourself and accepting your flaws and not letting that control you.
Yeah,
you know.
And it was just a beautiful movie with the claymation and everything. But yeah, so those are my two.
Oh man.
That was a great movie.
That is a great movie.
We did a lot of good ones this year, actually.
Yeah.
There was a couple that I was like, oh, we did a lot of really good ones and a lot of not so good ones. We were really all over the place.
All right. On the count of three, just say Gizmo at the same time?
Yeah.
All right.
3, 2, 1.
Bullet Everything, Train. Everywhere at once. The same block.
Damn it.
I'm surprised you didn't guess that for
mine.
No,
I did. But I didn't write it down. I was just walking around thinking about it. I was like, probably Everywhere all at once. And then I was looking at the list and it's it's obviously going to be Moonlight.
And it was close because I feel like they're both equally critically, like they're both fucking 5 carats. You know? But Everything Everywhere all at once, it takes the toll for it takes the gizmo for me because of how it deals with like metaverse and all that stuff. But the way that it also handles like the existential like trauma and existential is like what's the word I'm trying to think of when you're having a problem, an existential crises. It just is so great. And then even though it is a lot about Asian identity, it is just about like a person's identity and where you fit in the world. And like that's just like a thing that I personally struggle with a lot, and was like thinking about like, well, what if I did take that job down in Portland, or what if I would have moved to Milwaukee if I would have gotten that director's internship. You know, just like what different like what if I moved to LA, you know, when I was thinking about moving to LA.
See, I disassociate from doing that. Otherwise my brain would completely melt. I would turn into Indiana Jones opening the Ark.
Yeah, so bedtime is kind of a hard time for me. When I'm alone in my bed, a little drunk, in the darkness, trying to sleep.
And it's creeping in. On this episode of Let's Talk About Jacob's Trauma. Wasn't that? Yeah, that was a while ago. You were talking about being bullied or something, and I was like, okay, we're unpacking some stuff.
I think we were talking about it during Warriors of Virtue, actually.
Probably.
I was like, yeah.
It was one of those young fever dream movie things.
I related to that kid. He's got picked on a lot. I remember getting picked on. Anyway. Yeah, Everything Everywhere All at Once. And just like the introduction of the daughter as the villain was just is such an iconic scene when she like comes in with like the pig dressed as Elvis smoking the cigar, pops the guy's head into confetti. It was like the Daniels just at the top of their game. It's so good.
That had the same kind of vibe in like Suicide Squad, Birds of Prey when Harley Quinn goes into the that's like one of the best.
That's
scenes.
The only good scene in that movie, in my opinion. Or not the only.
Or good. In Suicide Squad when she's like breaking out of the bad guys.
Oh yeah,
and same kind of. They took that and they ran with it.
You guys came to rescue me.
And she's just, but it's all confetti and that was cool. That was a cool shot. In Everywhere. I picked Bullet Train mainly because
it's a fun fucking movie.
That's a fun fucking movie, and it had that Mad Max feel to it, just the fucking adrenaline behind it. But what really sold me was the humor. They were able to do this really.
What carat did we give that? I think we gave it like a 4.5. Actually,
we gave it. It was pretty high.
Yeah,
but I know just in the next season we really need to start writing down everything and then putting them somewhere so we can quickly access it. We'll just do a drive thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just thought Bullet Train was just really fun in this like action way, but it was also really funny. And just I really appreciate when you can do
it felt like a live action like anime.
Yeah, like it was just visually over the top, and Brad Pitt was hilarious in it. And just this like ex-hitman that just wants to chill and be zen and is like just keeps getting forced into this, which is such a tried like thing, you know. Like I'm out of the game, and John Wick, and they keep bringing me back.
But it's a unique take at it.
Exactly. It's like this funny, like, because it's like, John Wick is like, that whole scene in the first one when he's being like tortured by the dad. Mm-hmm. He's like, I'm thinking I'm back. Yeah. And then they start choking him out, and then he breaks out. Whatever. But Brad Pitt's very like, no, no, can you stop it?
Can we talk about this?
Yeah, and I just thought it was a really fun take, and it's just bananas, and it has a really great
cast,
great reveal of who the villain is.
Well, also just like I love this idea of like how it's orchestrated by the White Devil or the Michael Shannon's character, but like how it's like you have Brad Pitt, Ladybug, but you have the twins, like you have all of these like super like high caliber like killers, and they're all intersecting on the train.
And that's what's cool about it too, is that I like the one set piece kind of thing in a movie. And it's also really impressive to do in an action movie of that caliber. Yeah. Where it was that much action happening in this very long but very narrow space to play with. Yeah. It's kind of like that fight in Inception, the hallway fight.
Oh, yeah.
Where it's like they just took a hallway and they fucking ran with it. And it's
just like the twisting and turns.
Yeah, and they did that with the whole thing was like a weapon. That's when they were fighting, they were using the train as their weapon, and briefcase block it. And then,
it's like, the choreography much akin to a lot of like Jackie Chan type of fights.
Yeah. So
it's comedic style fighting type thing.
Over the top. Like you said, it's very anime, like really expressive.
Well, because if we remember, like, it's based off of a Japanese novel. Yeah. So, yeah.
And it really had that identity, and I just remember like I was one of those hadn't seen it, and it was like actually like this is cool.
I remember watching it, and I was like, we need to do this. We need to review this. Yeah.
And it's like I just come to that's just at the end of the day, that's my lane and it's probably just from growing up as a '90s action kid. Mm-hmm. So when I see a one that's really executed really well, it really sticks with me. Like Mad Max Fury Road.
Well, and that movie just kept having callback after callback after callback. Like the tangerines that keep coming,
Yeah. I thought, and that's what I guess what really got me was like I liked how funny it was. Mm-hmm. But
it's one of those movies that you can watch again and again and again, and you're gonna find something new and funny about. Like,
and just the jokes, like the
or
twins.
You're gonna you get to the point where it's like you watch the water bottle's journey, and you're like, I forgot this was even a point of view from the water bottle. Yeah,
or like the twins, and they're like, what? You don't see the resemblance? Yeah. It's like it's just funny. Yeah, so that's my gizmo.
I'm sorry, I killed your brother.
But yeah, wow, that flew by. Why did that fly by this year?
What do you mean?
The
just the season?
Yeah. Well, no, I mean they're our end of the year show.
I feel like they're generally not much longer than like
half an
hour, maybe 40 minutes at most.
Is there? Well, what are we at right now?
We're at 28.
Oh. Is there? I know we did like honorable mentions. Is there anything? Okay, yeah. Just a question though. Is there anything that you hadn't seen before that you haven't already mentioned that you're like, oh, I really enjoyed that?
I don't know. Secret of Kells, actually, while we've been talking, has been like popping up in my head here and there.
Okay.
It's just very unique. Here we go. Unique off the top of your head. Very unique movie. Not strange, unique. Because like think about Secret of Kells, like its art style and the way that it was directed in telling that story.
There's not a lot like it.
There's nothing really like it that I can think of.
I'm sure there's something.
I think we had ideas. I remember we were talking about during the episode, but yeah, it's a very unique type of movie. Mm-hmm. I would have to look at our list. Oh wait, I can bring it up on here. On
one of mine that I just was Enemy Mine. I was really happy to finally had seen that.
Yeah, I'm glad. That was one of those movies I've been trying to get you to watch for a while. Yeah. So I was really happy to introduce you to that. And also we found some like weirdness in it as well. Mm-hmm.
Well, it was the same thing as like when you made me watch The Thing.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
I was like, oh, this is a cool era, There's a lot of like these little gems.
Del Toro's Pinocchio. That was fun. This is Spinal Tap.
Yeah, that was cool. But you had seen that though, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
This was Spinal Tap was cool.
Our period piece section was pretty interesting. It was fun. Marie Antoinette and Great Gatsby. Great Gatsby, obviously, I enjoyed much more than Marie Antoinette. But it was Marie Antoinette was interesting,
Yeah, I really enjoyed
unique
too.
perspective.
Yes, I also really enjoyed our Pride Month
lineup.
lineup
The Birdcage, But I'm a Cheerleader, I Love You, Philip Morris, and Booksmart,
and Moonlight.
and Moonlight. Oh, I guess Oh, that's right. There was 5.
Yeah.
Oh, that Moonlight was the. Oh, we have a fifth. We have a fifth.
We have a fifth in this block that we need to do. And so
Yeah.
we're like, let's do Moonlight. But yeah, like all those movies were just like, again, like interesting perspective. I mean, and also Birdcage is one of my favorite Robin Williams movies. Well, it's because of Robin Williams and Nathan Lane's interactions.
I would love to. Moving into next year, things that you would maybe want to focus more onto. Like I was just thinking, is like if we could do like more things like Kung Fu Hustle, in the sense of like fighting style movies. I don't know.
I like more,
or just like I guess like maybe like you've been wanting to do more foreign films in general as well.
Yes,
like maybe we should more foreign.
Yeah. Yeah, that would be cool.
A little bit of like obviously we don't want to like oversaturate with foreign, but
yeah, and I want to get out
or international, I should say.
The biggest things two of the biggest things I want to get out of watching movies that we have seen 8 million times.
Mm-hmm.
Just because a lot of these movies, like Great Outdoors, I'd never seen,
mm-hmm.
and it was a fun just to watch something completely new. That and the getting out of the 90s a little bit.
Well, I mean that's where this podcast started, though. Is like we wanted to talk about stuff that we always kind of talk about, give it a rewatch and a re-review movies.
Yeah, but after
good reviews for people who like bad reviews.
Yeah. Well, yeah, but after 3 years, it's kind of like it's time to mix it up a little bit.
No, and I totally agree with that. Like we're always evolving, always changing, always moving forward.
But yeah, for all of you that have been following us, we're going into our 4th year.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy, right? Yeah,
4th year.
Wow. Mm-hmm. Where does the time go? Well, even when you're like that, My Chemical Romance was around this time last year. I was like, that was a year ago?
Yeah. Or you saw me cry.
Ooh, that'd be fun. I've seen it. God damn it.
What movie?
Fallen with Denzel and John Goodman.
I haven't seen it in a very, very long time, so it'd be like watching it again anew for me.
I think I don't think we should do that. It should be like, I know I've never seen it. Or one of us has never seen it. Just because with our minds, too, when we watch it, it might come flooding back. And then it's like, well, I remember, remember the other day I was telling you I was sitting there trying to find a movie. And I was like, I want something, like, familiar.
The only scene I remember in Fallen is the passing by and he's talking to him. That's the only thing I remember. There's a lot of movies that are just like, blank. It's like it's a blank slate up here.
It's not like that for me. Like I can't tell you the last time I watched Fallen, but I'm watching it in my head right now. Like,
no, not at all.
Okay.
There's very few movies I can do that with. I can do that with Superbad. I can do that with Predator. God damn it, Predator is playing tomorrow at the Egyptian for one day, and you're working.
Oh, take some.
I'm gonna hit up Keto.
Yeah, I was like, take someone. Like, I was just looking at we have our list up for starting the new year.
Mm-hmm.
I forgot about
that. So next week is our season 4. We're beginning in October, spooky season. Do we want to just announce what we're doing for what the 4 movies definitely are? Or
I mean, because
and if it changes, it changes. Who gives a fuck? We control the stuff.
We picked like 2 artsy and 2 comedy, right?
Ish, I guess.
Yeah, we did. So we're starting.
Yeah. So we're starting off with Cabin in the Woods.
The Cell.
And then we're going into The Cell, and then we're doing Tucker,
my favorite.
Tucker and Dale, and then ending with Hereditary.
Yeah, so we're doing 2 of the kind of campy, funny horror movies, and then we're doing 2 that were more like artistic in nature. And if coming up for it, if y'all haven't seen The Cell, I highly recommend watching it because that movie is bizarre.
And I've never seen Hereditary.
Oh, cool. That's a movie.
That's a movie.
That's another lots happening.
I know the metaphor in it because it's been out for so long, but like still like it's.
She's amazing.
Toni Collette.
Oh God,
yeah,
she is amazing in that movie. Like, and she's scary.
Hell yeah, I look forward to it.
But yeah, so I guess that wraps up this year. Thanks for listening, everybody. Love your support. And yeah, we'll keep doing it till we don't want to do it no more.
Yeah, more or less.
But yeah, so to go over just real quick. So my Spike Stripe Award was Hebrew Hammer. My honorable mentions were Moonlight and Mary Max. And my Gizmo Award was Bullet Train.
Yeah. My Stripes to the Bed was Super Mario Brothers. Fucking God. I should put Magic Mike there. How frustrated I got with Magic Mike. And my honorable mentions for Gizmo, Moonlight, Banshees, and then my definite Gizmo is Everything Everywhere All at Once. Which might actually, I think that it's possibly rising to be just my favorite movie of all time. Next to Superbad. But I have.
Oh yeah, I meant to bring that up. Never mind. I was like,
What?
I was thinking like to fill it. Like we're good now, but I was like to fill in time. Do you want to do your game of the year? But I already know what that is.
Elden Ring? Well, no, that was that last year, wasn't it? Mine, it would be Tears of the Kingdom.
Oh yeah, you beat that, so that counts.
Yeah.
Mine would be Star Wars Jedi
Oh, yeah.
Order 66 of the Fallen.
We're just filling dead air right now. We might as well just sign off, man.
But also, that's the only game I beat this year. So
That's fair. I actually still haven't beat Tears of the Kingdom.
Oh, I thought you did.
No.
Oh, I don't know why I thought you did.
I'm 250 hours into it, and
God. All right. So please join us next week for Cabin in the Woods, the beginning of our 4th season with the spooky season, my favorite time of year. And we will then talk to y'all later. Thank you.
Thanks, Tommy. Thanks for listening. This is Jacob.
This is Tommy and Jacob's Mixtape. End of season 3. What? All
right, fucking knock it off.
Turn him off. Turn him off.